Medications. It is important to remember that all medications, prescription and over-the-counter, are potentially dangerous. Over-the-counter medicines that you take for headaches, colds, and allergies can make you drowsy and affect your driving ability. Carefully read and follow the directions about dosage and side effects. Pay close attention to warnings about continued dosage and who should and should not take the medication. Do not mix medications and do not drink alcohol when taking medications. This applies to both prescribed and over-the-counter medications. If you must take medications before driving, find out the effects of the medication from your physician or pharmacist. Remember, even though you may feel fine, you may not be free of the adverse effects that can affect your driving. It is your responsibility to know the effects of the medications you take. When you are tired, decisions are slower and harder to make. Health and emotions. Whether you are calm, nervous, or hot-tempered, your personality affects the way you drive. Don't let your emotions interfere with safe driving. Use all the good judgment, common sense, courtesy, and safe driving rules that you can. Some conditions such as poor vision, heart problems, diabetes, or epilepsy may affect your driving. Discuss your condition with your physician and follow his/her advice. You should also let the MVD know of any condition you have that might affect your ability to drive safely. Don't drive when you are upset or ill. You should know when you are not fit to drive. You should know how your passengers, by their actions or advice, might affect your driving. If you are in good shape, you can decide more easily if a friend's advice about driving is good or bad. If you are upset or ill, you may follow a friend's bad advice because you are not thinking clearly. You will drive better when you feel good than when you are angry or sick. Some important points to remember. If you are ill or upset, don't drive. Don't drive after drinking or using drugs. Don't ride with anyone who has been drinking or using drugs. Emotions such as anger or worry can make you drive unsafely. Never let out your anger by driving recklessly. It is illegal to drive impaired. Physicians are required to report physical and mental conditions to the MVD. Section 103,900 of the Health and Safety Code requires physicians and surgeons to report in writing to the local health officer the name, birth date, and address of every patient at least 14 years of age or older who is diagnosed as having a disorder characterized by lapses of consciousness or dementia, mental disorder, conditions. Although not required by law, physicians may report any other conditions when they believe a patient cannot drive safely because of a medical condition. Driving in Arizona. Driving in Arizona is not a right. It is a privilege and one that must be taken seriously. A vehicle can be deadly if used improperly. You can only be granted the privilege to drive if you have passed examinations presented by the Motor Vehicle Department. You will be tested on the rules of the road, and you will need to show your ability to drive. You will also need to prove you are physically and mentally fit to drive. Every driver must pass these tests. Proof of Social Security number. You must provide your Social Security number to obtain a driver's license. It is used to both verify your identity and to comply with any child support laws. It is not used as your license number. Classes of licenses. When you get your license, it will be marked as a certain class, A, B, C, D, or G. Classes A, B, and C are commercial driver's licenses. A Class D license is a standard operator license, while a Class G license is a graduated license. If you have a motorcycle license, Class M will be added as an endorsement to your current driver's license. You cannot have only a Class M license. You must have some other form of license before you can get your motorcycle license. Instruction permit. When you reach the age of 15 and a half, you are eligible for a Class G instruction permit. With this type of license, you must be accompanied at all times by a driver with a valid Class A, B, C, or D driver's license who is at least 21 years old and occupies the front seat. An instruction permit is good for 12 months. If you receive a motorcycle instruction permit, you can operate a motorcycle, but you are not allowed to travel on a freeway or interstate between sunset and sunrise, or if there is not enough light to see at least 500 feet ahead of you. A motorcycle permit is valid for 6 months and is eligible to be renewed once in 24 months. If your permit expires and you wish to renew it, you will need to take the written test again. If you are at least 18, you can apply for a commercial license permit, which will be valid for 6 months. Graduated license, Class G. If you are at least 16 years old but under 18 years old, you are eligible for a Class G graduate license. You can legally operate any vehicle that doesn't require a commercial license or a motorcycle license for the first 6 months that you hold your Class G license. You cannot drive between the hours of midnight and 5 a.m. unless you are driving with a parent or legal guardian with a valid driver's license in the front seat, or if you are traveling directly from work, a school-sponsored event, a family emergency, or a religious activity. You also may not have more than one passenger under 18 unless the passenger is an immediate family member, or if the driver is accompanied by a parent or legal guardian with a valid driver's license in the front seat. If you are convicted of a traffic violation with a Class G license and are under the age of 18, you could face various consequences. For your first conviction, you will be required to attend traffic survival school and the violation will go on your driving record. For your second conviction, you will have your driver's license suspended for up to 3 months and the violation will go on your driving record. For a third or subsequent offense, your license will be suspended for up to 6 months and the violation will go on your driving record. You can face other penalties for violating passenger restriction laws or curfew laws. They may include your restricted driving period being extended. To apply for a graduate license, you must have held an instruction permit in Arizona for a minimum of 6 months. When you apply, the permit must be valid, and you must have completed an approved driver education program. If you haven't completed driver's education, you must have written certification from a parent or guardian that you completed a minimum of 30 hours of supervised driving, which includes a minimum of 10 hours of night driving. If you hold a current and valid license from another state, you are exempt from the instruction permit requirements and the required driver education and practice. Once you reach the age of 18, you can choose to change your license to a Class D, but you are not required to do so. Parent-guardian approval for applicants under 18. If you are under 18, your application for an instruction permit or driver's license must be signed by at least one adult. The adult will be responsible for any negligence or willful misconduct when you are driving. The application must be signed by one natural parent is married to the other natural parent, or both natural parents, if not married to each other, but share joint custody, or one natural parent with sole custody, or if neither parent is living, legal guardian, proof required, or foster parent living with the minor, proof required, or employer of the minor, death certificates must be shown. The signatures must be witnessed by an MVD agent or by a notary public. Signatures obtained for an instruction permit will be required again for a driver's license. The person who signed the application for the minor, as well as the person with responsibility for the minor, may cancel the minor's license. The license may be canceled by submitting an affidavit to cancel the license of a minor. Available online or at any driver's license office or by phone or by sending a notarized letter. Authorizing the cancellation to Motor Vehicle Division. P.O. Box 2100. Mail Drop 538M. Phoenix, Arizona, 85001. Indicate the license number, full name, and date of birth of the person whose license is to be canceled.